Chapter 2. Your potential is real even though you can't see it. How virtual states act on the visible world. Not all potentiality is converted to actuality in any finite time. There are innumerable clouds of the probability running around in the universe that have yet to trigger some registered event in the macroscopic world. We have every right to assume that the universe is filled with more uncertainty than certainty. John Archibald Wheeler with Keynes Ford. The other night, I had a strange dream. I dreamed that I was invited by Dr. Erwin Schrödinger to come to his house. The way things go in the dreams. His house in the Austria was just a few blocks down the street from my house in the Fayetteville, in the United States, right? I arrived at the requested time, and his assistant, a beautiful young lady, opened the door. Herr Doctor is waiting for you in the living room, she said and smiled at me. Down the hallway, second door to the right. When I entered the room, I froze in shock. Dr. Schrödinger was changing a light bulb in one of his ceiling lights, and he hovered high above the floor, but I couldn't see a ladder on which he was standing. He was standing on something that looked like the step of the ladder, but there was no ladder. The step was floating in the air. That is why this is dream. Oh my god, I thought instantaneously in panic. That man is going to fall. Dr. Schrödinger, I cried out. What are you doing? For heaven's sake, be careful, you are going to fall. Smiling, Dr. Schrödinger looked down at me, calmly screwed his bulb tight and said, "Ah, there you are, welcome to my home. And make yourself comfortable, everything is fine. I will be with you in a second." But, I said, scrambling for the words, But you're floating in the air. You are going to hurt yourself. Let me call your assistants and we will get a ladder to you immediately. But I'm standing on the ladder, he said. Don't worry. You may not see it because it is a virtual ladder. But they are the best. A virtual ladder? I said. What do you mean, a virtual ladder? Virtual ladders are ladders whose steps you don't see except for one you are standing on, he said. But all the steps are there. Trust me, they are real. As soon as you touch one of them, it becomes visible. You see, I am standing on one. And with this, he started to come down from the ceiling step by step. Sure enough, every time his foot reached down, all of a sudden a step appeared, and at that same moment, the steps on which he had been standing vanished. Wow! Wow! I said when we shook hands. That is impressive. How did you do that? I didn't have to do a thing, he said. This is how nature works. It is full of the virtual states. These states are like the steps of that invisible ladder. As soon as you touch one, it appears in the visible world. He led me to a chair and reached reached for a bottle of wine. I have a good Austrian Riesling here, he said. May I pour your glass? He took out of the cork and made preparations that looked like he was going to pour the wine on the plain table. Excuse me, Dr. Schrödinger, I said. I'd prefer to have mine in a glass. There is no glass. Don't waste your good wine by pouring it on the table. there, there, there is a lot that you have to learn, he said. Oh, of course, there is a glass. But since it is empty, it is a virtual glass. It is a state of potentiality and you can't see it. But it is there. All you have to do is to feel it and bingo! To your house. Why am I laughing at myself? Did I go crazy? I am too high. Okay. Let's get back. And with this, he poured the wine onto the bottle, onto the table. But just before it hit the surface, a glass appeared. Wow! The world is full of potentiality, he said. Potentiality is invisible, but you can make it visible. It is part of nature to be invisible. That gives it potential. But all that you have to do is to reach out for it, and it will become real for you. That is my message to you today. I may contact you again in a few days. Have a good day. His last words started to sound a little bit blurred. When I looked up, he seems to flow apart like a wave, and I decided that the time had come to wake up. So funny.